And hello, everyone. Gabe the Izzard here atop Petit Mountain, atop Davies Bridge. I am literally atop it. I am about to start the Winthrop Rockefeller Boy Scout Trail, a 12-mile loop. It's the longest trail on Petit State Park. I've never done it before, and I'm doing it today. A little nervous, but what the heck? Let's do this. This is where the trailhead is. There's Davies Bridge. Here is the information. 12 miles, 8 hours, difficult, moderate, hard. No overnight camping. I don't plan on camping. I plan on hiking. I would love for you to tag along. And here's our first point of interest. A wooden square. All right, let's get this moving. Officially, time 8:48 a.m. Friday, October 22nd. No gimbal, just shaky path walking. No, I'm not gonna walk with you on the whole way. Just show some points of interest. Go ahead, tag along. This trail starts and walks along Cedar Creek, and it makes its way past quite a few of the hiking trails that are on Petit State Park, being the Rock House, Seven Hollows, Bear Caves, to name a few. So we'll be traversing along here. Pretty good path. Just gotta start making my way. Already starting to get a little bit of elevation. Right down there is the bridge that we will come back on. Pretty nice. There's a vehicle rolling through. During the summertime and under heavy rains, water would be flowing through here, but there is nothing more than a small trickle. This is actually following along the Cedar Creek Trail. Here's a little rock shelter, and right here on the edge is where the creek flows. There's some really cool geological items to look at. Just these rocks and the way that they're smudged down and wavy. Pretty neat. They do have some information signs. The Cedar Creek is the red blazes, and the Boy Scout is the white. All right, so we got to a little place where it opens up, and you can see Mather Lodge across the way. And one of the first kind of bluff type outcroppings right along here. Start to see these signs as we get closer to the waterfalls, which are just a short distance down this way. Walking along this solid rock bluff. Nice little shelter if it was raining. So far, it's been a pretty smooth, well-maintained trail. But I have a feeling once we get past the rock house, it'll be a little bit of a different story. But fingers crossed that it's well marked and okay maintained. A little cut through, a little balancing act with this rock. It's the back side of those rocks. And right up here is another pretty cool little bluff shelter. It's cut out. You can actually get up to it. In case of emergency. And just like that, our white trails has dumped us out onto the Turtle Rocks. Our path goes right up there where the white blazes are, but we're going to make the small detour and head down this way to see the rock house. And just a short, not even a tenth of a mile off of the Boy Scout trail is the rock house trail. You might be able to start to hear my echo. And this is the rock house. A shelter from the storm. And we're gonna actually go right back up there. And now, like magic, I'm at the top of where I said that I would be. And that's what we got going on. We're gonna be heading west. Over a mile in, and we are past the rock house, going into territory I've only wandered through once before, never really followed the trail. So this is gonna be a new experience for me. Next major thing I should see would be a road crossing, and then another road crossing, and head over here to this overlook. See what we see. All right, and it opens up just like that. Mather Lodge hotel or cabins right up there. Cedar Creek Valley right down there. And the falls, which we didn't really look at, are this direction because there's not any falls happening. And then we got this guy here overhanging. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Okay, it seems about a 1.4 miles in, and we've kind of left the bluff, and we're walking more through the woods. Good flat path, been well marked with the white blazes. I've only heard a few little creatures pouncing through the leaves, but haven't seen a couple crows. That's about it. I'm starting to get some spider webs on my face. All right, so it does kind of give you some overlooks every once in a while. This is looking over the Cedar Creek Valley. There is a cabin directly in front of us right there. And then on this way would be the bear caves. Let's see if I can locate that. Doesn't look like my overlook will let me. Yeah, making our way. All right, so this is our first road crossing. This is Red Bluff Drive Road. It's a one-way, so traffic would be coming this way, going that way, and the Rock House parking lot is that way. And we are going on the BSA, Boy Scouts of America. Now I'm 100% in an area I've never traveled through. I've driven around it on a car with a car, but not walked through. I almost picked up a trekking pole to clear the spider webs out of the path. I have eaten more spider webs, not as many as I did on the Audubon Trail, but I have eaten quite a few, and it is very beautiful out here. Pine trees. This is the path. Kind of get off of it, maybe you can kind of tell. It is a pretty good path. Haven't had any trouble finding markings. I mean, I can see 3 or 4 markings already. Just keep following. Keep trudging. Almost 2 miles in. It's not a trekking pole, but this stick is doing the business. I really need to read up on my scat and find out what things are. I think that's a raccoon. This area's had a lot of lightning strikes, and this tree right here is a victim of one. You can see it's charred, but everything around it is a-okay. Pretty wild.
I like having a book to listen to.
This is about as Arkansas as you can get right here. Pine trees, quiet, blue skies. Wonderful. All right, we've made it across that little area, and we have made it to the other side of Red Bluff Drive. That's the way to come in, and this is the one way, and our blaze goes down. For traffic only, even though it is a road. Now this is going to be our greatest descent. This will take us down to the base of the mountain, and then we'll wrap around where Red Bluff Overlook is on the west side of the mountain, and it'll wrap us back around over to Cedar Creek. There's some old steps. We're using the road. Blue Hole, 1.25 miles. Huh. Got the first little glimpse of the north side, and it's pasture. The Arkansas River is down there somewhere. Pretty close. Found this laying on the ground, which is a map of all the trails. I guess somebody dropped it out of their pack. I didn't have a map on me. I just kind of knew where I'd be going. And I've also downloaded the All Trails app, and it kind of keeps a good trail. I'm not looking at it, but as long as I got these white markers, I'll be good. But bonus, and I picked up litter. All right, the road forks. It says do not enter on that sign right there. It has a white blaze right here, so I'm assuming we're going down. I don't see any more white blazes in front of us, but hopefully I'll see another one pretty soon before we would have to backtrack. And just like that, white blaze on the right path. Is that a cave? Is it a cellar? No, it is a rock drainage, handmade, going under the ground to keep the water from eroding out this area. Maybe I'll see the backside. All right, right through here are some wild turkey. Missed them. Here's another one of those drainage. I think that it actually just drains over here across the street. And that is where it goes. this scat has a little bit of hair in it, which is scary. That means a carnivore took a dump right there. So we've been walking on this very well maintained, almost four-wheeler path. And right here is a man-made retaining wall. And I know eventually it's going to turn back into a little footpath, but I'm liking this wide, easy terrain. We made up some time. We did the first 2 miles, we were about 30 minutes a mile. Of course, that was stopping and taking a couple pictures. And then this last third mile was 21 minutes. Still going down. So this is another drainage, but it's a very well built one that keeps it a car length wide. Check this out. Whoa. There is a snake skin right there. A large snake skin. Huh. Anyway, my point. This might have been a old road from back in the day up the mountain. I would assume it would be, because it's just too wide and too well built to be just a regular Boy Scout path. All right, and just like that, the road kind of comes to an end. The white blaze says to go to the blue hole. White blazing it now, back on the path. We have gone, I think, as far to the bottom, other than maybe being in Cedar Creeks, in the actual creek. So we're pretty low. Only way left is up. All right, we made it to the blue hole. This is the first water that we've actually seen, other than a small little trickle in Cedar Creek. Kind of keeping my eye out for snakes after seeing that huge snake skin. But I'm going to make a separate video because I bought a Sawyer water filtering system, and I'm going to fill up my Sawyer. So I'll probably link to that video somewhere in the description or something like that. But other than that, back on the trail. Directly right off the trail by the blue hole is this cool structure. What is this, like an altar or something? Of the Great Council? I don't know, but it's pretty neat. Man-made. Gonna cross this little man-made bridge, and it looks like we're gonna start the incline up. Ain't gonna lie, I kind of got spoiled to going down. This up is something else. Not that bad. It's not as bad as Pinnacle. So, still going up. The next main thing on trail will be the crossing of the highway coming in from the west. I don't know the number, but we'll have to cross it and then start heading back east. Still heading southwest right now. And just like that, we are out to the road. Just got to find the crossing and cross over, and then start heading up that way. I don't know where it crosses, but I'll find it eventually. Just a short walk up the road. I can already see the blaze mark across the street. Across the road. So far, I gotta say, very well marked and maintained for a less traveled trail. It's pretty well marked. So into this one. Okay, about 100 yards in, and I'm already seeing that this is a even less traveled path, but still well marked, and it's easy to determine where you're going. But the path is more of a footpath, pretty narrow, but well marked. Things have flattened out pretty good, and the trail is smooth. I think that we got most of the incline behind us that was hiking up from Cedar Creek to the highway. It was a pretty good incline, but it wasn't like super strenuous. Our next point is going to be crossing another highway that leads south, and then a small jaunt through the woods, and that will meet up with the Seven Hollows trail. And that is what makes Seven Hollows is about 4 miles. So that's what makes the Boy Scout 8 a 12-mile pack. So we'll see how we're doing there. So far, almost 4.5 miles. Doing good. All right. And after a nice walk through some shaded woods, doing another road crossing. Well-marked path. This is called Wild Hog Crossing. That is junction 154 at the top of the hill there. Turn right, go to the state park. Turn left, go back down the mountain. And that is the Palisades overlook right there. But we're doing the Wild Hog. Back into the woods. The next spot we get to will be the Seven Hollows, but this has some really great scenery along here, along this rock bluffs, walking in between them. All right, so this is the Seven Hollows Trail. You go left to go to the parking lot, or go right and go on the Seven Hollows. We got some thinking to do. All right, after some pontificating, we are going to either go this way or this way and do the Seven Hollows. We're doing the Seven Hollows. It adds 4.5 miles, which I think that makes our 12-mile trip. So here we go.
What's that cave? The bear cave?
It's just a rock shelter. A squirrel. Some of the first wildlife other than the wild turkeys. There's a little bit of water right there. I got my sawyer that I'm still gonna test out later. I forgot to start my watch calculating our mileage. I think we walked about a half a mile. So I'm gonna add a half a mile to whatever my watch says at the end. Fail! Lots of rock bluff shelters around here. It's been great for the Indians back in the day. In a wet time, there would be a few creek crossings, but it is dry as a bone right now, so no need to get your feet wet. Still only a minimal amount of squirrels that I've seen. Well, I've officially seen 3 sets of hikers, a solo man, a solo woman, and a couple. They were all going the opposite direction that I'm going. That's only because we joined it from the Boy Scout trail and they started it on letter A, which goes through letter J. We started at J. But it is kind of cool to actually see some human beings out here. And a quarter mile off of the typical trail is the grotto. A lot of times there's water flowing through here, but not right now. On this 7 Hollows, lots of times the trail opens up to a little field of turtle rocks like these right here. I did filter the water from Cedar Creek with my Sawyer water filtration, filled up a water bottle and drank it, and it was pretty good. So I'm assuming that I'll be safe unless I catch a bad case of diarrhea or something. I'll let you know. Still on these blue and white blazes. I will say this 7 Hollows trail is a little more difficult to traverse than the Boy Scout trail. It's just got a lot more rocks, jagged areas. Every once in a while it'll have a smooth spot like this, but it's lots of watching your step, and also if the water is flowing, lots of creek crossings. But luckily there's no water in the creeks. First snake on the trail, and he seems to be a good guy. I'm not too sure what kind it is, but he don't want any part of me. Coming across marker C. It's the natural bridge right here. And turtle rocks are on top of there. Gonna keep on blazing the blue. Lots of caves. And in this cave up here. Up there, out of reach. This is the first water source I've seen since Cedar Creek at the Blue Hole. And believe it or not, there is a good bit of water, and it's fairly clear. It's got some bugs in it. This tree said, "Not today, big boulder." There's a buck walking through. It's the first deer I've seen since being on trail. And it's a big, nice buck. Awesome. We're getting closer to the end of the 7 Hollows. And they kind of sucker you because we're going the opposite direction. You start out at supposed to start out at A and end at J. We started at J, ending at A. But they have a nice, easy, well-maintained start to the trail for about the first half mile. And then once you get to A, the letter A just stops being well built. We're gonna get to the parking lot here, across the street, over to the Bear Cave parking lot, and then I'm gonna have a little bit to eat. This is an extremely misleading sign. It says you can go right or left, and it says near halfway point. The halfway point's gonna be the halfway point one way or another. It's not gonna be just near. Just like that, and just like that, we've made it to the parking lot of the Seven Hollows and getting back on our BSA White Blaze. Just a short walk to the Bear Caves. That was probably a 1/10 of a mile busting out of the woods across the street. Got the White Blaze, but we're gonna stop and have a little bite to eat. I'm not gonna do a video of the Bear Caves because I'm gonna come back and do probably an individual of each one of the hiking trails. So, time to eat lunch. Very busy on Friday. Just ate lunch, feeling like $1,000,000, and walking through the Bear Cave to the other side of their little area, and then catch up with the Boy Scout trail. Some cool climbing over here. And just following the green with the white around it. The white around it means it's part of the greater trail. And it leads into the White Blaze Trail. And this is where we're going. Next stop, Mather Lodge. This section of the trail should have some pretty cool overlooks and some weird outcroppings of rocks like this right here. Note to self, garlic stuffed olives. Bad idea. All right, so we are on the other side. We were over there earlier today and walked through this and over. This is the Cedar Creek down there. Been a long time, almost over 9 miles. And just like that, we made it to Mather Lodge. Swimming pool's closed, but the lodge is open if you wanted some lunch. You can go in there and have a burger. And then this is the view we're dealing with. We cut across right over there, went down and around that mountain, through that valley, up the hill on the other side. Pretty intense, but we're keeping on, going through here. Oh, by the way, bathrooms behind the pool. So you do have to kind of traverse the parking lot. Haven't seen any signs, but as I said that, I saw the White Blaze. It's up to the top of the parking lot, to the left. There it is. There's the sign, and then there's the lodge. And just like that, we're back kind of in the woods, following the white markers. I'm gonna get to see the Cedar Falls overlook and possibly pass by the old Cedar Falls trail. They used to go down to the falls. See if I can spot that. So we're making it here to the Cedar Falls overlook. This used to be the actual access to get to Cedar Falls, and you would go down this way, and it was basically a rock climb. There's an armadillo shell. But it was a very difficult and treacherous walk. Now you enter through Mather Lodge. Okay, so maybe that's the trail right there. So here's the falls right there, and there's barely even a trickle. There are people down there. People made their trek. Another view of the falls, and we were walking right over there earlier today, and over there. Back on the inlet part of the trail, basically on the home stretch. We have been on this already, but this is how you walk out. Next stop, Davies Bridge. The end. And that was a lizard. And just like that. I don't know where I came up with the phrase, just like that, but just like that, we are back at Davies Bridge. And I made a mistake on our journey. Somewhere I was supposed to bear right, and I went left, and we crossed Cedar Creek a little early, so we didn't go to the cabin at the top of the Cedar Creek hiking trail, which shaved off about a half a mile. So it's only 11.5 miles. I feel like I cheated myself. I cheated you as the viewers. So I guess I have to just stop, turn around, and do this again and make it right. I don't think so. Well, I guess the recap is we made it to the bridge. Back on Davies Bridge. And I saw a snake. I saw a deer, a buck deer, an armadillo shell. There is I don't know, that's a herring. Is that a herring right there? Or a crane? One of the two. I always get them kind of mixed up. And I saw a lizard, a squirrel, a couple squirrels. I am atop this. There's lots of action going on down in the water. Don't mind me, I'm not going to be doing any fishing. All right. Well, that's that. Pretty good overall. I don't know how I missed the bear to the right, but I did. So that would be the one mistake that I made on the trail, along with shorting you guys out of that extra half mile. So thanks for watching. That Sawyer water filter was top notch. I ended up drinking the rest of that filtered water, and it was delicious. And thanks for tagging along. I'll see you on the next one. Later. All right, final recap, just showing where we went today. This is the Davies Bridge, and we followed along here, all along, came back up. This is where we joined the Seven Hollows trail. Went to there, ate lunch, or had a break at the grotto, came back up, had lunch at the Bear Cave, came through Mather Lodge, went by the Cedar Fall Overlook. This is where I crossed, and I shouldn't have. I should have kept on going, and it would have brought me up here to the Pioneer Cabin, and then I would have been able to follow along and come back and cross here. So this is what cheated me out of a half mile, but we came back to Davies Bridge. Overall, it was a great one, and check out Petit State Park. Later.